Are we going?
No. Yes.
Okay.
Why?
No, I just...
Yes. No.
I probably shouldn't be mean about this publicly. No, it's just fascinating. Like I told you, I've been doing the TikTok stuff more, and I've been using it for like music and stuff. And it's just so funny where like I would try to post stuff where I'm like, here's my thoughtful opinion, or here's some new music. Aren't you guys going to be appreciative? Because I spent all the time to figure it out. Yeah. And then it's just like, there's like whatever engagement. And then I go, what's the best Devil Wears Prada album? And it's just like so many. It's like, and it's just like, so you guys just want to be like, what do you think? Which is fair, I guess. But I was I'm not even like shitting on people. It's just me kind of being like, don't you want to look at me? Don't you want to pay attention to me?
Yeah. Isn't it my opinion that matters?
Yeah, but at the same time though, I'm like, I was always that's why I started podcasts and stuff. Yeah. And I make YouTube videos and I yap into TikToks and stuff like that. Because I was always the guy who, like, when I went to the show, I would go, entertain me.
Yeah.
But anyway, you know what I did get entertained by?
Yeah, you got a little. Yeah, we both got a little bit. Getting all the chip
We had a
crumbs.
chip break.
Yeah. We had to have a little snacky.
Pat topped off.
Yeah.
Me.
DC
And my
boys.
Coke and my DC cup.
We got our big drinks. We got our snacks that we're sneaking into the movies. What are we seeing, Andy? You ever do that?
Yeah.
I didn't know what.
I didn't know how little movie theater employees didn't give a fuck.
Well, it was.
I always got made to feel like you were basically sneaking a bomb into a sporting event.
You somehow had that thought of like it's gonna be similar to the FBI warning you see where you're just like, I'm like committing a crime.
If I get caught, this will be a problem.
I'm done.
That's how you thought.
I'm done at the movies. I'll never see a movie again.
Well, especially when you're younger. I remember, like, when you're younger, like a high school or a college kid seems like an adult to you.
Yeah.
I remember, like, and then when you get older, you realize you're like, oh, they're also children who don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And, like, everyone, that's what I think about where, like, sometimes I'm trying to be like, I may or may not have gone to the grocery store and nabbed myself a little snack, and then when I see a trash can in the grocery store, maybe the container winds up in the trash can. And I think I think I'm sneaky about it, and I wonder how many people are like, here comes that fat guy eating some chicken fingers again.
He's coming here to eat food again.
He thinks he's sneaky, and he just fucking. We know you.
We all work here.
No one's gonna do something over the $4 chicken fingers you steal.
Yeah, we were gonna throw. That was garbage.
Yeah,
you just ate garbage.
Yeah.
Like, that's essentially what happened. So,
but I think that's the attitude that movie theater workers have to have, where they're like, I don't care about anything.
Right. Yeah, as long as you're not, like, actually trying to pirate the movie, like, film it, or you're not causing a disturbance, then
it's
they
just
don't really
shit that'll get them fired.
Yeah.
So it's like if you sneak in a bag of Skittles, they're not going to get fired over that.
Right.
But if you are sitting there...
Maybe at the Alamo.
What?
Maybe at the Alamo.
Maybe. The Alamo.
They're fucking dumb. They don't even have fucking DC there. You know that? They don't have fucking...
They got Peppy?
They don't got human sodas. They have their fucking dumbass hipster sodas. Where they're like, it's fun. What do they call root beer? What's the other thing they call it?
I don't know.
They call it not sarsaparilla, but it's like some kind of
some bullshit like that.
It's root beer.
That's the only thing I don't like about Cabo Bob's. Is every time you go to Cabo Bob's, they're like, look at all these drinks. It's like all the ones you know, but it's ours, and you're like,
right? Is
it yours? Or do you slap your label over top fucking Fanta?
Yeah, is this like RC Cola bullshit or something like that? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so I it's a thing where you can have your Coca-Cola or your soda preference, but I feel like if you're going to a movie, if they got Pepsi, here's my move. You ready? Let's just say it's payday, and I happen to have an extra 500 bills. I can go to the movies with my wife, and me and my wife go there, and we go. Can I get a large Diet Coke? And they go, oh, sorry, we got Pepsi. And I go, can I get a cherry Pepsi then?
Because that's how, I used to not participate in the soda wars like that.
Yeah.
But just after years of drinking DCs, Pepsi is worse.
It's not.
It's not a bad drink, but it's noticeably worse. But something happened.
Cherry Pepsi?
I don't know what's in their cherry.
Oh my God! It blows Coke
Cherry
out of the
Coke?
water.
Sit this one down.
Suck your dick.
You know what, Cherry Coke? Sit down and listen for once.
Yeah. You know what? Honestly, you could probably learn a thing or two.
Yeah.
I didn't love their...
Wait. Do you want to know what I do?
Oh, yeah.
Here, wait. Ask me what I want. You're the waiter.
Next.
Could I get a
Waiter?
waiter? Well, I thought we were at the Alamo.
Oh no. Because if I said, can I get
Bing, get me a beer.
Sir,
I want a beer for the movie.
Can you write it down?
I want a movie
Sir,
beer.
Sir, just write it
Bing.
down. Sir, just write it down.
Just screaming
Sir,
that?
just write it down.
I'll write it. I wrote down beer.
I'm standing right in front of you. You don't have to. You could just write it down. I wrote down beer. Is that good?
I'm trying to watch Alien Covenant. Can you please get me a beer?
Can I just hold on to this one and next time you come back, and if I want one, I can hold it up? No, don't take it.
Can I get a Diet Coke?
Yeah.
Can I get a Coke?
Yeah, a Coke. Yeah, you got it. Wait, no, actually, you know what? Well, we have our own colas here? Is that okay?
Huh?
Because that's the thing. They also do that thing where they're like, "Oh yeah, I can get that for you." We have our own colas. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Like that's different.
Yeah, we have a special edition Mountain Dew that we mix with a random juice in the back.
We make our own soda in the back. We got
Wait, do the Pepsi one. Though.
Oh, yeah,
Can
sorry.
I get a Coke?
Oh, you want Pepsi? Okay, sorry. So is Pepsi okay? Pepsi. We got Pepsi here. No, we don't have Coca-Cola.
Yeah, Pepsi will be good.
Got it. Happens all the time. It's a thing.
Your neighbors are just like, oh, they podcasting again.
He's trying to open his computer.
Oh,
again.
why do they podcast? Oh, Pat's computer took 2 hours again. Didn't even work.
But they have some large perp kern and then
Perp kern.
usually gummy bears. If they got, but see, that's the thing is if I'm seeking in a part of it. See, that was always my compromise. Was once I started having to pay for my own movies and snacks, I was like, I'm definitely bringing in something. Soda, no. I love the fountain drink. I want a fountain drink.
Well, because then
I want it's refillable usually also, and also popcorn.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I need that popcorn. But
And
candy
also-
and stuff, that's going in my pocket.
I remember it started too at one point where you'd get. I remember it was like they're doing something because you'd walk in and you'd be like, M&Ms are never in a box. What are you doing with that?
Yeah. And you
then
just
you'd
shake
get
it and
the
you're like,
and you'd be like, this box is light.
Yeah.
And then you realize it's half full of M&Ms.
but if you go to HEB, you go to wherever, you get one of those sharing size. Fuck. Dude, it's like $3.28 or something like that.
I'm not going to share this.
I am not going to share this. Or that was
You know
brother,
who I'm going to share it with? My belly.
You want to know Clutch Movie Gummy?
What?
Clutch Movie Gummy. Starburst gummies.
Yeah.
Starburst gummies or
Starburst gummies are the better ones because they're a little sweeter than like the Lifesavers still have like
Lifesavers too. I would say
they're good,
that's a
but
good second.
They're good, but they have a slight aftertaste.
They're all greasy gummies, but they're my kind of greasy gummies. So we got our snacks, we got our soda,
yeah.
right?
I'd like.
What are we watching, Andy?
Well, first off,
wait.
I am at the Alamo, so I would like a full filet mignon with a baked potato. Because
Are we doing appetizer? If I get appetizers for myself and you can't reach them, do you want to?
Yeah.
Is that okay? Do you guys want to say that you'll share them?
Can we have? Is there a way I could get nachos that are twice the price of a restaurant and half the quality? Thank you.
And somehow cold, even though they just came out of the fucking kitchen. Somehow,
Yeah.
like you're supposed to be different, and it tastes the same.
Yeah, I got
to tell you, I'm not pissed off at the Alamo. I'm just disappointed.
Oh no, it's nothing personal against the Alamo. Every time we've went, I've enjoyed it, but it's like I treat it like a regular movie theater. I've only ever gotten popcorn and soda.
But even still, they
'Cause
bring
it's
it
like-
out in a bowl or something. It's like, guys, you can't
It's
just
so
use
try hard
bags or
It's
something.
well, it's because they're gonna clean the bowls and reuse them.
Ew.
Yeah. I go, no. This is America. I would like to waste paper.
Throw this away.
But no, I do.
Clunk, clunk, clunk.
For me, and I'm a guy. I like a good cold beer. But you know what? What's not a good pairing is a cold beer, a dark room, and a very soft chair when I'm at fucking 11 p.m. And it's like every movie now is 3 hours long.
And you're just like, and it's a quiet talkie part, and you're like,
You're like, we're the robots.
And you just had you just had a giant meatball sub and fucking mozzarella sticks. I went there like it was a restaurant
I just
first.
ate 5 potato skins.
Yeah, and you're like, oh my god, I'm fucking so sleepy right now.
You know it'd be sick though at the Alamo.
Okay.
Is that still going?
Yeah.
You know what would keep me awake at the Alamo? Rush Hour.
Right?
Yeah.
And you know what?
Honestly,
they would play it.
I could crush 6 beers and a full turkey dinner, and I'm still awake watching the Rush Hour at the Alamo.
I was just enthralled by this movie.
Can I be honest? All jokes aside, no jokes right now.
All right, guys. It's not a comedy anymore.
Very similar to like our on Drag the Lake when we did a review of the Ramones.
Yeah.
I went away with this with a very thank you for your service. It just, you know what it is? Because this movie to me felt like obviously not the start of action movies, but it felt like the beginning of like a more modern day action movie. So like a bunch of people have then gone and done it way better. Yeah. So like I
don't know, man.
When I was watching it the whole time, I just go, this is good. It all seems like I could just use a little more at every moment.
I think the thing about it was that I kind of appreciated was the fact that it was a lot better than I had remembered.
Visually, it was amazing.
Visually, it was really cool because, again, a lot of practical stuff.
Like when they blew up the building?
Yeah.
That looks so fucking good.
Yeah, that was definitely a big shot that they had. Like, the
one where, like, if we don't get this right, my wife's going to leave me and I'll kill myself because it's going to be so expensive to redo this.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the one where, like, that was probably half the movie's budget.
You got to think about it. The movie cost, like, $33 million.
Yeah,
and blowing up a fucking building like that has to be a huge chunk of the budget.
And I think, I don't know if that shot was, but I know definitely parts of this movie were filmed in L.A. Most of it. Like, a lot of it. So like,
Isn't
this
it based in LA?
It is, but it's also like, you know, movies are like, oh, we're in China. It's actually Vancouver.
Yeah.
Oh, we're, you know what I mean, like whatever it is, like. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure most of this was like, I know there's a couple. There was like one of the restaurant scene was like a famous.
That was
LA
like a
restaurant.
real restaurant.
It's like a famous, well-known LA restaurant. Like there's a couple things. The Fu Chow is a real restaurant in Chinatown.
That was a cool looking restaurant too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think also this being Jackie Chan's first fully English speaking role.
Which is a very good distinction. I didn't realize he has been, not as the main star, he had been in like, I was looking through, it felt like 100 movies before then. Did you ever see? He was in a fuck ton as a stunt guy.
Yeah.
But also he was like the star, because I think he first started being kind of American, because what was it, Drunken Master came out in like 94. And I remember seeing that one, but this was only 98. So this was at the very beginning of him becoming like an American star.
Rumble in the Bronx, I think, was the first big one.
Yeah.
Because that was the one that I saw that I was like, I didn't understand it at first. I was like, that was another one where I was like, I don't think they're in New York.
Yeah.
And I was just so stupid. I was so naive to it, to being like, oh, that's not. It really took me until probably earlier this year until I realized like the I always thought it. But like I was like confirmed of like, oh yeah, the Power Ranger shit, like they would just film just the kids' parts of them at school, and then all of the fighting scenes were from the Japanese.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like, what?
Yeah.
So like that's not actually them in the uniforms?
Yeah.
Like it legitimately was like I just never thought. I always suspected like it looks so weird and different.
Well, no, I think Power Rangers is a big one for people because it's like you really underassume how much they would actually take from a previously made show.
They're not recreating it. They're not repurposing. They're just going like, yeah, put it in with this stuff. They're just like splicing in it. So the same idea of like the Rumble in the Bronx was one where I was like, why are they all talking so weird if they're in New York? Yeah. And I was just like, oh, it's a Chinese movie or whatever. But then
you know what might by the way, not understanding how movie and TV works.
Huh.
When I was a little kid, and this I was pretty damn young, but it actually took me a minute to realize that when I watched something on TV, it wasn't being acted out live every single time.
Oh yeah.
Because I remember I remember when I learned about reruns. I go, they really show up and like redo this every single time? I go, that's crazy. But I was also probably like, 12.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. That's way too old.
So Rush Hour was his first American film where Jackie Chan spoke his own lines in English without the need for dubbing. A breakthrough for him after his uncertainty with the language in previous roles. But this is the thing I thought was really interesting, was Chris Tucker improv'd most of his dialogue.
That is very believable.
But for somebody like Jackie Chan trying to he's doing it in his second language, and he's trying to learn lines in that language, and then repeat them in that language.
Remember, you got to think too.
And he's just going so they're just going to go he's just going to scream for a little bit, and he's going to kind of say a bunch of stuff, and he's just going to go, and then you're going to say your line.
Yeah.
And he's just like, got it, chief.
Well, you got to think too. He's, as a Chinese man, he's coming over a lot of hatred towards black people.
Right. He kept telling him to get out of the store.
Yeah.
No. We're just shooting scene.
Yeah.
This is really interesting as well. From this movie, apparently this was Rotten Tomatoes was created by Jackie Chan fan.
Yeah.
Sen Dong. Who built the website to collect reviews for Jackie Chan's films released in the United States. That's the whole reason. Rotten Tomatoes was created because of Rush Hour.
Yeah. I read that and I was like, wait, really? I was like, Rotten Tomatoes got created because the dude was he was like, people need to know about Jackie Chan. And it was just from, and
he ain't wrong.
Didn't he have the I read too, he had the idea, and then he was like, wait, when's Rush Hour coming? And he's like, I got to get this set up real quick.
Yeah. What should I call it? Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And then it'll be world famous.
So, yeah. So basically, I don't know. I think my whole thing was the two things that I thought were the biggest takeaways from this were Chris Tucker is prime Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
I don't know how long his prime lasted, but this is 98.
Well,
so this was, I think Friday was 97.
He was a dude who got huge.
Yeah.
And I want to double check this because I could be wrong. I feel like he was one of those dudes who's like, all right, I'm huge.
Yeah.
So now I will do a movie occasionally.
Yeah, and it's crazy because first of all, to find out most of his performance was improvised is holy shit, that's fucking crazy. Yeah. To go to think there was multiple laugh out loud spots. Chris Tucker's hilarious. Jackie Chan's hilarious in this movie. Not just considering this is English as a second language, but it's the practical effects. That's the thing that really, the explosion was a practical effect. The stunt work. I wonder if Chris Tucker was inspired at all to do his own stunt work, much like Jackie Chan.
By the way, here's how few movies Chris Tucker has done. From Rush Hour 1 to Rush Hour 3, the only movies he did were Rush Hour movies. And that's 98. He did some stuff with a Michael Jordan
The second one is 2001.
Yeah, the one we watched was in 98.
Right.
2 was in 2001 and 3 was 2007.
And I think they're making 4.
And then, oh really? That'd be sick.
I feel like I heard that. Right.
I know. Yeah, it's on. I mean, it's on upcoming in. Well, and this is so funny. This is indicative of Chris Tucker. Is the movies that, you know what his upcoming movies are on IMDb right now?
What?
Are the next Rush Hour and the next Friday movie.
Oh, they're making another Friday?
Yeah, last Friday.
Oh, sorry. Side quest here. Sorry.
Side quest.
They are officially started shooting Super Troopers 3.
Really? I didn't even know they were doing a third one.
I don't know what this is, because I kind of lamented today.
You're not happy about that?
I'm very fucking pissed off about it, because Super Troopers 2 felt like a fan service.
Yeah.
Didn't feel like a money grab. I think it was crowdfunded.
Yeah.
And it was like one of those things where they're like, we're doing this for you guys. And I think it was done pretty well. Maybe it's not perfect, but we also like Happy Gilmore too. So
yeah, but no, I know what you're saying. Like when I watched Super Troopers 2, I watched it and I go, not as good as I thought it was going to be. Still happy I went to go see it.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I thought it.
But I didn't like go crazy for it.
I didn't. Yeah, it didn't like blow me away. But I was just like, I thought for them, for that sequel, all this other stuff, and like I love Broken Lizard, and even if they make a movie that I don't necessarily love, I still respect the fact that they are doing their own thing, and it didn't ever feel like a money grab. This feels like a fucking straight up money grab, and it's not necessary.
Did they make a trailer or just announce it?
They've already started filming. I saw the announcement for it.
Trailer.
I saw the announcement, and then they just started filming. I think like a day or so ago. So like,
so what about it makes it feel like a money grab?
Because there's no need for it. There's no need for 3, and the fact that another movie that I love that they've actually joked about in the movie Beer Fest of having a sequel. They said we'll be back, and it'll be called Weed Fest.
Yeah.
Like I think even Willie Nelson is still alive, isn't he?
I think so.
Brother,
well,
you can do this fucking movie.
You know what
That's the movie that would be fun.
You know what they're doing that Kevin Smith kind of fucked up on? And I still love...
He's doing like Clerks 4 now.
Well, that's what Kevin Smith does is he had a really good string of new movies where it was like Clerks, Mallrats, Chasing Amy, all that. And then in like over those movies, because he's a comic book fan, he develops the View Askew-verse, whatever the fuck you called it.
Universe, yeah.
And then it was literally like I remember liking Clerks 2 when I was younger. Everyone says it sucks, so I might watch it again and go, oh, it actually sucks. I mean, I rewatched Jay and Silent Bob Strike. I rewatched Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I thought the first half of it sucked, but the second half was really strong.
Same.
It's like literally a different movie. It's weird. It's a different movie in the second half.
You have to watch it with this in mind. It is a cartoon.
Yeah.
If you don't watch it in that like world, because
1000%.
It's like because otherwise it is a fucking stupid fucking movie.
But no, Kevin Smith did that. Like once Kevin Smith pumped out a couple movies and established his universe. Everything he ever did was like, well, obviously he had the pit stop on like Red State, which I thought was good.
Tusk.
I liked Tusk. I liked Tusk a lot. People were indifferent.
There's no asterisks there. I don't think it's ironic. I think it was a cool, original, weird fucking movie.
Yeah, I thought Tusk was great.
It.
And
Red State was a great movie.
In context of fucking weapons and all the shit Jordan Peele does, more proof that funny people can make really good horror movies. But like, so obviously he does the pit stop on like Tusk and Red State and Zack and Miri and fucking Cop Out and whatever.
Yeah.
But then after
Cop Out.
After a certain point, Cop Out's whatever.
That's such a weird. That's the weirdest. Tusk is way more believable than
he didn't write Cop Out. Though.
Right.
You know what I did like about Cop Out though?
That started his feud with Bruce Willis.
Well, yeah. Well, that's even funny, too.
It's so funny.
When you watch Kevin Smith, he's like, yeah, so I don't fucking know anything, and Bruce Willis was annoyed at that. It's like, yeah, man, you should, like, know lenses if you're a big director.
Yeah.
Like, you should know those things.
He just felt like it was an ego trip. It's like, I just think that he didn't respect you, and I completely see why.
It sounds like you don't know enough about the technical aspect of your job.
And that's okay.
That's fine, but Bruce Willis wasn't wrong.
This mix doesn't work. That's all.
Bruce Willis wasn't wrong, dude.
But yeah, you're right.
No, my favorite thing about Cop Out was, and once again, that was another one I haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
But I always appreciated in the middle of it when there was like, you know how every movie goes like, hey, yes, like, oh, I got to team up with this guy. Oh, we're starting to get along. Super duper fun time.
Yeah.
Thing happens. Now we fucking hate each other.
Yeah.
And then, but we come together at the end. They were supposed to have, there's that moment where Tracy Morgan's like crying where he's like, I'm sorry I did that. Like, you're going to hate me. And he's like, the fuck you talking about? He's like, we're dudes. Who gives a shit? He's like, we'll get past it. And then they're like, oh, that's nice. That's like an interesting, but anyway, I'm getting so sidetracked. After all that stuff happens, Kevin Smith was always just like, hey, you remember that thing I did?
Remember Clerks?
Yeah. What if like?
Remember Mallrats? No?
Yeah.
He's doing Mallrats too. He's doing sequels to all of his movies.
He doesn't need any of them.
He might. I think something happened where like the rights to Dogma just like cleared or something. Like so, he's thinking about Dogma.
Yeah,
too. I love Dogma.
Dogma. That's the thing, though.
It's so funny we were talking about Rush Hour. We got up.
None
to this.
of those movies need a sequel. But no,
yes,
back,
that's the point. Yeah,
to go
none
back
of those
to the
need
Super
sequels.
Troopers thing,
Right?
And it's like
none of them need sequels.
Well, it's all indicative. It'd be one thing of like there's always a crowd that goes like, oh, we want the fucking Arrested Development movie or like Community. They always talked about doing a movie. It'd be something if that got announced. It goes, no one's talking about fucking Dogma 4, dude, or Super Troopers 3.
But Rush Hour in particular is a movie where I'm like, that is one that I'm like, well, I asked Dom, I was like, do you want to watch 2? And she's like now, and I was like, yeah. She's like, because it was just like one of those things of like, I'm in that world right now. It's fun. I'm because it's not as serious as something like Lethal Weapon, like where there's like LA based cops and it's just gritty and there's blood and explosions and all this shit. But it's just like this thing where like all of the action and shit was like practical. His interaction also, I wanted to bring this back to like him being improving a lot of his lines. His interactions with Chris Penn, the guy, the explosive expert that he met with at the beginning of the movie, he's the guy that jumps out of the car, and then they visit him in prison later on.
Oh yeah, that guy.
The way Chris Tucker like is talking, because they have that interaction with the cops, and he's like, no, guys, it's cool. Just get back in your car. Everything's fine. And he can't say he's a cop because he's trying to get information out of this guy. And like the whole time, like that, his is exactly how a regular ass white guy would deal with a black guy that in this altercation, or anytime he talks to him, like where he's just like, where how like you see those videos of like a male Karen fucking with a black guy, and then they start like doing shit, and he's just like, I'm telling you, like when he notices he's starting to get filmed, he's just like, I'm not telling you, I'm just saying, look, like the way they were interacting,
it felt so real.
Felt so genuine, and it felt so cool. Like this was like, I think of the era of like comedy action, because like everybody I love Pineapple Express, but everybody gave that like so much credit of being like a great action comedy. Yeah, this is a great action comedy. Yeah, this is an incredible action comedy. This is a thing where it's like, and I think a lot of the things that you would think about watching this or revisiting it is like, oh, couldn't make that this day. I think you absolutely could make Rush Hour today.
Yeah,
because there's make a cultural representation. They're speaking multiple languages. They're not. At no point is he going ching chong bing bong and like putting his eyes back, but he is making fun of not being able to understand him.
Well, I will say though, there would definitely be. I did think
the pool hall.
Well, even actually that would probably be, because structurally speaking, there's like, it had like a clever setup, and like structurally speaking, like if we were in a different area culturally, where that would make sense, but you would probably not have something like that culturally because like how the world's connected. I actually did think some of the, because it just felt like up top. It just felt like Chris Tucker. It's just so funny that he was a dude working for the FBI, but he just had he had the exact same energy of like a fucking hood dude I'd work in the warehouse. Yeah. You go, have you literally never met an Asian guy?
Yeah.
And that's why I was just like, I think that might not.
I felt like that was more genuine, though.
Yeah, no. Like, there were parts of it where it was making me laugh, where I go, oh, this is just racist.
Yeah.
There were maybe I wasn't, like, offended. I wasn't offended, but, like, it goes back to, I remember I was talking about, like, back in the 90s, the jokes weren't like, here's a joke about this. The joke was just like, ain't those guys funny? Yeah. So, like, I always bring up Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo.
I brought it up, too.
Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo, the interior designer is just a gay guy.
Just super gay.
So, like, it's not like offends me,
But like, also, by the way, I did kind of think Chris Tucker's character was annoying.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like there was a part of me that was just like, okay, this is more annoying than funny to me. Just the way he is. It just, you know what it was? His character was too realistic to annoying guys I've met.
Yeah.
Oh, but last thing is, I think the jokes didn't hold up as much to me because it just felt like the whole time Chris Tucker was just being like, what the hell are you, Asian guy? Like, that felt like the jokes the whole time of him just being like, what the fuck is an Asian guy?
So I think it's a thing where his whole ordeal, like he kind of like his character, at least in this movie, and this is me diving deep into Rush Hour.
Please.
Is Chris Tucker is an ambitious, talented police officer.
Yeah.
But he is very much of like, and not for like in most cases where it's so disingenuous where like this guy will go meet a drug dealer or something like that because like, you know, that's his intel guy or whatever. Like, but these are guys that like everybody always makes a joke about, like, this is your weed. Like, you know, he's like, what the fuck? He's like, you're lucky I didn't bet. Like,
that was a funny line.
Like all of those things
when he's
are like,
trying to get into the prison.
Yeah, and like there's multiple times he's like, I didn't bust you. He's like, I was splitting that bag with you.
Yeah.
He's like, what the fuck? You know, kind of thing of like, he's not a dirty cop. He's just a young, ambitious person who loves, like, he wants to be an FBI agent. He wants to be Vice, or he wants to be this because he can blend in. Because if you notice, like, the annoying part, I understand what you're saying, but like when he's joking around with the guy on the phone and he's like, you know, he's like $50 million. And he goes, what the fuck? You think he's like, you have Chelsea Clinton or something like that? Whatever
Yeah.
And then like the guy goes like, oh, he's like, oh, do you want me to tell him, oh, what's your name? And he's just like, but then like he snaps out of it and he goes like, hey man, I'm on your side. I'm just trying to do this, whatever. Like he snaps into being a good, like he knows when he kind of goes.
What's funny about that is I think I was getting.
He's not disingenuous. He's just like, he's genuine, but he is flawed.
Well, you know what it was? Yeah, I get that 100%. You know what it was? It was more based off the dynamic, because when he was doing that to the guy who was like trying to extort them for money, that was entertaining. That was funny. But then like, it's when you get a character like Jackie Chan's character. There was like, they didn't really establish any reason to like, I guess for me it's like they didn't establish much of a reason for you to like dislike him. So when Chris Tucker was fucking with him, it like comes off more annoying. That's why I think a lot of times that's why I always think when you have the uptight guy with the loose cannon combo, the uptight guy has to be a little bit of a dickhead. So when the loose cannon affects his day negatively, you can laugh and not feel bad. They didn't make Jackie Chan unlikable in any way. So whenever Chris Tucker was fucking with him, I could feel myself being more annoyed than actually like laughing.
I think with that, again, this speaks to his inexperience meeting his let's say his no, that's the right way to say it. His inexperience meeting his like talent.
Yeah.
So like he is under the he's under the impression that he's going to go assist the FBI in this investigation, but his role in it is legitimately a babysitter. He's supposed to pick this guy up. So his whole he is being himself. He's pissed off.
He's butthurt about it.
He's just butthurt about having to deal with he's like, you're the fucking guy that's coming here. He's like, look at this guy. But like,
no, I get that. I just think I would have personally been more on board if they made Jackie Chan's character more like a more tight ass or something.
Well, that's the thing is
because he's like,
so,
he's supposed to be the straight man, but he's literally like saying the N-word to people, which I got to imagine even in 98, Chinese dudes know to not go to America and say the N-word to black guys.
I would assume so. And that was the part too, was like the cultural like thing. He did observe. That is like a thing of like, at one point Jackie Chan is so smart and cunning, and the next point he's like, so I just go in there and just say that? Or again, speaking of like literally Jackie Chan, the actor, not the person, the role he's playing, this is like his first full-time speaking English words, like, So like that's
I just you know
so
what
I
it
could
was?
understand him or not. It's not
I
his
don't
first
even
time
think it
speaking
was-
English, but it's his first time a fully English speaking
Yeah,
role.
now I'm thinking about it. I think because of that language barrier, it's not even like because now I'm thinking about it and I go, I would like Chris Tucker's character more if I disliked Jackie Chan's character more. I think because they did lean into sort of like dated Asian jokes.
Yeah.
I do think it's they wrote Jackie Chan's character a little bit one dimensional, which could have happened because he just like I don't know that
He's
much
like,
English.
I can't handle two
Dude,
dimensions. Guys.
Well, did you watch the? Did you sit through the bloopers?
Yeah, I love him.
Like they were hitting him with like a sentence that you're like, oh Jackie, that's not a hard sentence, and he was like fucking it up.
Yeah.
Which I would fuck up any other language like the same way.
Yeah.
But it was like, oh, he like didn't know English very well.
Yeah, like that's so
They're
that
probably limited with how dynamic his character could
so
be.
like to me the way that if Chris Tucker is improvising most of his lines,
yeah.
and Jackie Chan is new to the camaraderie between them like is more believable.
That
And,
felt real towards
like
the end.
Like
yeah.
so like the storytelling of saying like this is this guy, his number one guy in China, like helping him out. He works for the government, but the guy's gonna go be working in L.A.
yeah.
So he's not like I'm not assigned to him. They just have a connection, and he's got a connection with his daughter. So like he's just like, all right, well it sucks, but see you guys later. To me, like that is like so far all of the shit, like the setup, like the bad guy, what he ended up doing, and why all this other shit still kind of made sense. He felt like it was relatively harmless to kidnap this girl and make sure she gets home safe, but just make sure he gets reimbursed for all the fucking shit he stole.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, okay, so all right, well, like that all makes sense. It is the reaction between Carter and I can't remember his fucking name. Lee. Yeah. So like they have this like, but like it still does once you find out the shit after that, you're like, oh, actually, that like could be genuine. Of like, this feels like a real friendship because like,
Oh yeah.
of like you were my co-star in my first ever movie, and like you helped me a lot with my lines, and you always reassured me, and you made me
they're
laugh.
dynamic. No matter, I will give them props at any point of the movie.
So like
they're-
I love
they're-
that dynamic.
At
yeah.
any point of the movie, the dynamic felt genuine.
Plus
like when they weren't friendly,
Yeah.
it felt believable that they hate each other. And then when they were buddies, it felt believable that they liked each other. So
Yeah.
even with that language barrier too, it was like their dynamic the whole time was very believable.
So like it and the only way I can I can answer like when you were saying like you got to make Jackie Chan's character more dislikable or
They could
like
have just made
but
him.
he deceived him. He was ignoring him. But like also like he went up and immediately offended him by doing the do you understand the words coming out of my mouth?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that shit. But like
Well, I think they could have used a more. It's like kind of a traditional device where it's like you don't even have to make Jackie Chan a dickhead. Just make him like a tightwad. That's
Right.
always like it's always like an easy back and forth where one guy's a tightwad and one guy plays it a little too fast and loose.
Yeah.
I think if you just made it more overt that Jackie Chan was being a tightwad, but I guess it's hard too when you're like, I'm literally trying to save this girl's life. It's like, oh, you're such a nerd about saving the little girl.
Yeah.
So I guess it could be a hard job to do, but that was an aspect that took me out.
I think that was, and also for some reason him going to all of his connections, but like they were like where they normally would be. I can't remember what they call them, but like their leads or whatever. Like when they go out to their informants,
Yeah.
or whatever, they go out to like when cops visit their informants. But like all of his informants are like his friends and family. You know what I mean? Like they're people
Yeah.
that but they're like in these seedy places or whatever. Like he doesn't like the whole time. I feel like it's so. All of the action sequences look great, also because of like the practical stunts being
Yeah.
done by the actual actor in a lot of cases. But I wonder if there's like an element of like. This is a buddy comedy or a buddy cop movie that when I watch it, I'm like, I don't know. The first one like doesn't ever really get too outlandish. Do you know what I mean?
No,
like,
you're not wrong.
And like even the parts where like
yeah, no, any of the stuff that I was like any stuff that you would have the response of like, really? It was all like minor shit if it happened.
And like a lot of the stuff where and again the improv of like that being the thing, and also knowing like the you know what's really funny actually, it is multiple. I think we both thought it, but Dom actually said it. We're watching it like, and the whole time we're watching this, she wasn't necessarily thinking, "Oh, I got to watch Rush Hour 2." We both had the thought of like, I really want to watch The Fifth Element. He was fucking awesome in The Fifth Element.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But he was super annoying.
Yeah, but it was like eccentric annoying.
Yeah.
You know what the problem
What you yelling about? It's the part at the end where the young priest like goes, yeah, like after everybody's quiet, and he just goes, "What are you yelling about?" Every 2 seconds there's an explosion and gunfire. Fucking.
I think you know what it was. My thing with Chris Tucker's character in Rush Hour is it just reminded me. I've worked with that guy a bunch of times, and I just was like, oh no, I know. I was like, I know this guy. He just sucks.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that like endearing quality where, so it was like that part of it was not believable where I was like, no, this guy actually just sucks ass.
Yeah. But that's the thing is he's getting kind of punished by being like the person that has to like wrangle this Asian renegade cop.
That was the other thing too, though. It was like, you know, they treat you like this because of how you are. Like it's your fault you get treated this way.
Right. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's the youth and the inexperience, but like he still has actual talent, and that's like that's what makes it believable.
What shows through towards the end.
Well, that's what makes it believable that he still has a job. Like that they wouldn't just fire him for being this road guy that was shooting at fucking C4 at this guy driving away. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But he caught this guy and ended up helping him with the lead to find the fucking console. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
here's my thing though. I prefer Eddie Murphy in Beverly Hills Cop over Rush Hour because I prefer Eddie. Because here's the thing, Chris Tucker came off as dumb. And I go like his character was an amount of dumb that I go, you wouldn't keep this job. Eddie Murphy in Beverly Hills Cop, his character never came off as dumb. He just came off as difficult and risky.
Yeah.
As he came off as difficult and a possible liability. And that is more believable why they would keep him on the force.
Brother.
So like that was my only thing with Chris Tucker is he just came off like I was like, dude, he wouldn't be able to keep this job.
The original choice for the role of Detective Carter was Martin Lawrence.
Dude, there was like 6 people.
Yeah, given his success playing a cop in the buddy films of Bad Boys, he thought this would be a sensible casting.
What was the first Bad Boys?
Probably 97, I would assume.
I didn't realize the first one was that early.
Oh yeah.
No,
so after Lawrence was no longer attached, the search went on to play for someone to play Carter. In the mix were Eddie Murphy, Wesley Snipes, and Dave Chappelle.
I saw that, yeah.
So all of them could have been.
Bad Boys was 95.
But I gotta tell you, I really think that as far as like talent wise, or just in general, like chemistry wise, I don't know if any of them. I mean, I guess any of them can be friends with Jackie Chan. I don't think Martin Lawrence is going to put that kind of effort or into like the improv of it.
Well, because if you have Jackie Chan who can barely speak English, that's not a dig. I'm just saying, if you have Jackie Chan who can barely speak English, you need someone who has a big energy. So that's why I get. Like, Martin Lawrence has big energy, but not in the like in hindsight, being 2020, it's like Eddie Murphy. That it's like you already did Beverly Hills Cop. I don't know. You don't need to be a cop in a new film series.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's why I think Dave Chappelle would do a really good job too.
I think you're right with the career trajectory mixed with like that. Given that like the talent again, the talent wise, like I think Dave Chappelle would have been really good because of that same reason.
His energy. I mean, if you got his energy in Half Baked, but made him a little bit more professional and less of a fuck up, still like fuck up a little bit, I guess. But like if you made him less of the dumb stoner and still his same high energy, Dave Chappelle would have been really good in Rush Hour as well.
This is really funny, especially the point that I brought up just earlier. Apparently, Tucker, who is an actor who likes to improvise, which we were talking about, and Ratner, which was the director, Brett Ratner, was willing to let it happen. On occasion, though, things would get away from the director. Apparently, Tucker's improvs in the scenes with John Hawkes, Stucky, the informant, which was, I think, wait, wasn't that Chris Penn? I wonder if John, that was his name.
No, he wasn't the informant.
No. Who was
Chris Penn was an actual criminal.
Okay.
Are you thinking the pimp guy?
Maybe that's what it was, yeah. Made it hard for them to put a coherent scene together. Indeed, there was a continuity of errors in the scene born out of Tucker's fervent ad-libs. Jesus Christ, that's weird. But yeah, that was the thing, is the fact that, like, it's great when you have that talent, but a lot of times that can also, like, you know, with the language barrier, with like the other actors, with trying to actually put together a story, like what are you actually talking about?
Depending on what you're riffing on, you could just say something that's just like, that sounds like, considering the content, like, I don't know, he could like riff about some fucking job he had done previously, and it's like, if that's too over the top, it's like, yeah, this sounds insane in context to your character now, so it's like, we just can't use any of that.
Yeah.
You have to be more mindful of the overall story.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about like the action and stuff in the movie?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was a thing where it's like, so I'm not a person. This is not. I don't think it's like. I don't love action. I'm not impressed by action a lot of times. Like and
the spectacle of it.
Yeah, and I think it's because most action films nowadays are just basically just a bunch of CGI, a bunch of fake shit, and it's a bunch of like stupid. Like, it's like a guy doing a cool, weird hand fighting thing with a gun, and like they go like The Matrix. I didn't give a fuck about The Matrix.
Really?
I avoided The Matrix so much because I was like,
you've never seen it?
I don't think so. I don't know if I've ever seen the first one, or actually, I think the first one I ever saw was the third one in theaters.
You might,
or second one in theaters.
God, that's funny.
I can't remember.
Only ever seeing the third in theaters is hilarious.
But it's also like one of those things. It's exactly what I thought it was. It's just this. It's a story that I don't give a fuck about any of these characters or this world or anything. And then when they're like, yeah, but the fucking action, I'm like, it's all just fake. It's all just fake.
I will say this: I did watch The Matrix a couple years ago.
Yeah,
it's shocking how good it still looks.
But like,
it looks, I will give it credit. It looks really cool.
And that's the thing, is like people are like the same thing with like the Avatar movies and all that stuff, where they're just like, yeah, but they invented a whole new kind of special effects, and I'm like, wonderful. I think that's cool or whatever. I just don't give a fuck about this.
I'm having trouble. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm having trouble figuring out exactly what you mean, because like
there was some kind of
but like, you watch cartoons, right? Do you not like cartoons?
I like cartoons.
You keep saying what I'm watching is fake,
but it's like one of those things where they're like, it looks so realistic, but I'm like, what are you talking? It's like when somebody says the live action Lion King or and you're like, it's still absolutely animated. It's 100% animated.
Yeah, but what if it just looks cool?
Yeah, it's
like
it
if Avatar
cool,
just looked cool.
But that's the thing, is like it's not the I'm not necessarily impressed by like how cool I like of like you bending bullets or doing stuff like that being the main draw of the movie. And if the story doesn't get me, then that stuff means even less to me.
Sure. I get you on that. I remember the first time I saw Avatar.
Yeah.
I was like, this looks unreal.
Right.
And then I went back and I watched it again, and because I got rid of the like ooh-ah spectacle of it,
yeah,
I go, oh wait, this sucks. This movie's like, the plot's shitty.
Ultimately, I know it's not real. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like that it's like that's not an actual blue talking thing. But if you did that practically, like somebody like Guillermo del Toro that does a lot of things practically,
yeah,
like lots of makeup, lots of things where you're like, damn, there's a fucking person, that person is acting, that is that character.
Okay, so
like I know it's all fake anyway, it's all movies.
But by the sheer fact that it's like the sheer fact that a movie's heavy CGI just bugs you.
You can just because you can continue to re-render. You didn't have to capture anything. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
What do you mean?
So, like, when you're filming a movie, you have to film like the scene, people saying the words in a location, and you capture it on film, and then you can do stuff in post and whatever after. But it's still like you have to, like with most movies nowadays, they're just in a fucking green. Can you just stand in front of a green screen and just say words again, and then we'll
So I'll say that
if they happen to lose the file.
I'll say this about wait, what?
If they lose like whatever like scene that they have already created, I'm just saying that they can re-render it and redo it and redo it and redo it.
Sure, you know what it is? I just don't.
I'm not saying that doesn't take talent or skill. I'm just saying I don't.
Yeah. That's what I'm getting at. Is like I don't understand why, because it sounds like you're like the fact that they did that is what bugs you. Because I'm a guy where I go, what?
No. Not that they created that thing. No.
Well, because at the end of the day, if it looks cool and the story's good, I could give a fuck how you made the movie.
Yeah,
you know
but
what I mean? Like,
I think the story's terrible.
Like when people. Well, no. I'm just saying, broadly speaking, like if a movie was heavy, like okay, perfect example. Like people will always go, like with stop motion. A lot of times with stop motion, people will always go like they'll always go about like, oh my god, it took them 9 years to film 30 seconds, and I go, yeah, I don't care. For me, effort isn't a selling point. Like it's an interesting conversation.
That's it, yeah.
It's an interesting conversation for if you're into the process.
It deserves a category.
Well, no, because think about it. Like, just because you put in a lot of effort, and I mean on anything, doesn't matter per se. Like, you could be like, wow, you dug a big hole. And you're like, yeah, I did that with a spoon, by the way.
Right.
And it's like, oh, you're dumb. So effort in and of itself doesn't necessarily mean anything. It's a cool conversational piece.
Yeah.
But like when it comes to like stop motion and shit like that, 9 times out of 10 I go, yeah, to me, I don't care how hard it doesn't look good to me. I'm not a fan of stop motion. So
even the best stop motion is just going to look like regular animation, and you're like, well, why don't you just regular?
Yeah.
You can do that on your iPhone.
Yeah.
And it's like the thing where that's the thing. So it's kind of like if somebody's like really good at playing the cello. I'm like, that's sick, but I don't give a fuck. It's the same thing. It's like I really do appreciate it that it exists, and I every once in a while, like you might hear a string quartet, and you're like,
you might not.
That
I don't know if you've heard one.
That cello, man. I tell you what,
the quartets are good though.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they're an old Motown band.
Yeah, latch onto that. I hate you. I want you to die.
What?
Huh?
You never correct my pronunciation.
I've never done that.
Go ahead.
Literally show me one time.
Look in the mirror. You'll be horrified.
But no, I think the
but
overall,
I'm just trying to
like to be like, okay, there's like a whole new special effects thing, and it's like it just became people acting on like these big green sound stages.
Yeah.
And then everything added in post, and it's like, well, then I don't fucking care anymore because none of this like.
But that kind of goes back to the whole effort conversation,
right? I do appreciate the fact that it exists and that like other filmmakers can implement those things too, and that does, and people appreciate it. But overall, and I'm not saying that it has to be because like that's the thing is like something like Pacific Rim is something that
specifically.
Yeah,
it's
my
people
rim.
got confused which rim it
specifically
was.
Rim
Yeah,
job.
specific this rim.
But like something like that is something that I can still appreciate. But I'm not sitting there going like this is the greatest cinema of all time. And a lot of that is them acting on green screens. Most of the new Star Wars movies are all of them like acting in this weird.
But is the thing you don't like about it because they normally look shitty?
It's just kind of like a thing where it's like it kind of takes something away from me when I notice like when I find out like they were just acting on a green screen. I don't know what it is. It's just something about it that like I would appreciate something like there being some because I like think about some of the movies we've talked about in the past with like Apocalypse Now or something like that where like they're on location and there's like real life things that happen during the production.
Yeah.
They're actually like the scenes they're shooting, they're not actually in Vietnam. They're not in, Vietnam, but they're here. They're whatever it is like.
Yeah.
No, they did the thing.
Even like Rush Hour or like those movies, like when we're talking about like like movies saying, "Oh, we're in New York City," but they're actually in Vancouver.
Yeah, I got you.
So like that, they still like there was like an effort to like there was a practical thing that you used of like it doesn't. You're there.
They
Here.
didn't shift to CG because it's easier.
I got to do stuff like
if you go back and watch. No, I think a good example of kind of what you're talking about is like if you go back and watch. Actually, it kind of has both things a little bit. Because if you go back and what I'm about to say actually kind of goes into another thing I was going to say with the CGI where I don't mind it. Because actually, if you go back and watch Terminator 2 and you see like the scene where they're driving through the LA River or whatever the fuck that is, where it's not a river, where it's
just an empty basin,
and all the all the shit's blowing up.
Yeah, it's
like. Now, I think back when they made it, they had to do that. They didn't have the luxury of CG.
Yeah.
And so like that, they did it practically. And then a lot of people now, because they could just do CG, they're going to do it that way when it's like, I appreciate it more when you do things like that practically. And then on top of that, actually, in Terminator 2, there's like the shit where the dude gets fucked up, or he's like, I forget exactly what he's doing, but he's like taking over people with his like liquidy metal shit. Now, that looks bad.
Yeah.
But if this is the story you're trying to tell, they have to do that in that moment.
Yeah.
So just because that looks bad, I don't knock them because this is probably the best way to do that.
Right.
And it's similar to why I get annoyed. It's why I stopped watching horror for the longest time. They kept using CGI and all that bullshit when it's like, just try to do it practical. It'll be better. But then you get movies like Dune. You can't do Dune without green screens.
Yeah.
And when I watch Dune, I go, both the movies, I go, these look fucking amazing. So in that instance, I go, thank God for green screens. But I think the examples you're talking about, you're like, if it's just to save money and time, that's when it's frustrating. So
yeah.
I don't get mad by the inherent use of green screens, but when the use is to avoid something that could be better, I get that. Yeah, that does annoy me.
Like there's something to say about like even if it's on the back lot of the studio where it looks like a city and you're running down the street, like, and then you add stuff in post, even something like that, like something where you're actually like, there's something real there besides the actor. Because
I definitely think like horror movies lacked because of the shit you're talking about.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is like that the just the real life thing of like you don't have to show everything all the time, and it doesn't have to look spectacular. Like it doesn't have to be perfect. There is an element to theater to this. Like it doesn't have to be, but when it looks perfect or prestigious or like all the Transformers movies and all that stuff, it's essentially like it's just kind of not a cartoon, but it's mostly a cartoon.
Yeah,
and it's just like, well, I don't have anything wrong with cartoons, but stop calling it a fucking action movie. It's a cartoon.
Yeah,
it's an action cartoon. Just like anime had, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I guess.
You know, it's like you wouldn't call an anime movie a action movie. You call it an anime movie.
Well, you'd call it an action anime.
Even something like that. Like you have like
anime's the animation style.
So like something like The Matrix, which is like one of the first kind of movies to do that. Like everything's on a green screen and a lot of that stuff. Like a lot of it. So like
there's. Not sorry,
but it's not just about the look of it. It's not just like you were saying, like with T2. I'll still watch T2 and be like, this story rips. It does. I don't give a shit when he takes his little fucking hand off and he's like this. Like it's because like they do it like with it's cut off here, so maybe he's just holding a robot arm, but it makes it look like he's holding up. This, you know what I mean? Like,
but I guess here's my thing.
I'm able to suspend disbelief, but when you're just like, here's a car, and as soon as animated Shia LaBeouf jumps out, the car turns into a robot person. And it's like, just animate the whole damn thing.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
Transformers, it's kind of like, ugh. I would say with The Matrix, like that would be one that to do that movie, you'd have to use a lot of green screens. But there was also a bunch of shit in that where, like, because I'm thinking about it, there's like the scene where he's training with. Lawrence Fishburne, and like that was probably all in the camera, like using wires and shit like that. I think a good actually the last we talked about last week, War of the Worlds. That's actually a perfect example of what we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, you guys filmed it this way because they wanted to try to like. It's almost a la of like when the found footage shit got popular, where it's like, oh, this is just what people were doing and this is what their cameras recorded and shit. And it's like, no, you're filming it on everyone's webcam because you're being lazy.
It's cheap.
I think like a thing. Yeah, you're being lazy and cheap. I think like a thing like The Matrix is more like, yeah, you kind of need. If you're telling that story, you kind of need green screens. I'm not sitting here being like Matrix is the greatest movie in the world, but I will give it props because I did watch it a couple years ago recently. It's the special effects are still look surprisingly good.
And I think overall, I guess that's where it comes down to is like it's not that I'm not.
You say laziness.
I'm not appreciative of it.
Yeah.
Like I just don't. I personally, if for my movie watching experience, I don't give a shit about. Like when you go like, oh, it held up. Like I said, T2 doesn't hold up. Looks like shit. But it's also like I don't give a shit. Like because the stories and the Matrix's story is also one where I'm like, it was that era of movie where like everything was a rave and everything was about like there was like that weird sage thing. But like the Matrix, I feel like really had that. The corner on like they really like the actual like 3-story arc of it, right? Wasn't there 3? Right?
Like 3 films?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing of like it is like they for what they did world building wise in that amount of time.
Yeah.
And like the things they did, I do appreciate that. But again, I'm just not a fan of it. Same thing with Dune. Like I do it's like one of those things where like I appreciate that it exists.
You're not a big CGI guy?
Just in general,
just like in general, you don't care for heavy CGI.
It doesn't
films.
like it doesn't ticket. It doesn't go up that much, except for like something like District 9. District 9 was one of those ones where like if you can make it look like if I can't tell sometimes, you know what I mean?
That's why I like Dune, dude. Literally, the first time I saw Dune, Dune was the first Dune came out during COVID.
Yeah.
So that was the first time they started being like, in theater films are on streaming right away.
Yeah.
So I remember Dune was in theaters. It got on HBO. I started watching it on HBO, and there's that first scene where the main family goes, Timothée Chalamet's family, they go to like whatever world and they're in their ship.
Yeah.
And I remember watching it on my TV being like, this looks just like someone, like this looks real.
Yeah.
And I remember I immediately stopped and I go, I'm going to go see this in theaters. So like, that's why I always go back. Like, I don't get bogged down I don't get like bogged down in the process per se. I just go like, are you going to show me something compelling that I'm going to enjoy sitting there for 2 to 3 hours to watch?
Right.
And that's how I felt with Dune. That's how I felt with Dune 2.
We talked about this with music videos for bands though. Like if you try to do too big of a swing and you don't have the budget to make it look real, then like
just don't worry about it.
District 9 didn't overswing until there's one. It's to me, District 9 is a perfect movie. It is a perfect movie story wise. It's compelling to watch, like the actual like his transformation and shit like that. Are you familiar? You've seen District 9? Yeah. And like all that stuff, like that it kind of feels monster movie ish.
Yeah,
it's sci-fi for sure, but it feels like his transformation and stuff like that. It's like perfectly acted. It's like got that weird amount of.
What was the story in that again? Because I watched it a bunch I actually loved it when I was younger when it first came out, but now for the life of me, I can't remember the plot.
Do you want to talk about it next week?
Sure.
We can just. Well, I'll give you the short synopsis. The guy works for the government. The alien ship, a visiting alien ship, came into the orbit and essentially like broke down in our atmosphere, and then they were kind of like stuck here, so they became kind of literal immigrants.
Oh yeah, and then the guy turns into an alien.
He works for the immigration office to help.
It's basically South Africa.
Yeah. It is literally South Africa.
No, but it's like but it's like a play off apartheid.
Yeah. And then the prawns come in, and they come in and he essentially is going through. They're clearing out a village to burn it down.
Yeah.
And he comes across this thing that's weaponized. Basically, they were going to infect the human race essentially with this thing. It was like kind of a dirty bomb.
Yeah.
It sprayed him with the alien shit. He started turning into and ended up turning into a prawn. But like they never.
That's right.
The
main guy turns into the alien.
The prawns, right? The prawns. The thing that you could say like that doesn't
you
look.
love shrimp.
I love shrimp. So like the fact that like
that's why you like
those things don't actually exist. You can kind of like play with that a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but like when you go too much with, but they're in South Africa. Do you know what I'm saying?
I think yeah. Sounds like you just don't like shitty movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, because everything you described, you're like, oh yeah, when they use shitty CGI, and
you know,
it's like when they overdo it and it's unnecessary. Because I don't care what they call the Transformers movies. Call it a live action, call it a fucking cartoon. I don't give a shit. All I know is every time I've watched those, I get a half hour in and I have a fucking headache.
Yeah, it's just like
they just look stupid.
It's just too. It's going nuts. It's just settle down.
And I'll say this:
tell me a fucking story.
I'll say this: Michael Bay can make a fucking engaging movie, dude. No bullshit. The fucking one of the fucking Ninja Turtle ones he did. I fucked with it. I thought it was like a fun, engaging movie from front to back.
I think he did The Rock. The Rock was a movie where
that's a wrestler.
No. He didn't do.
He invented. The Rock?
He invented Dwayne Johnson. That's true.
Can you smell what Black Adam's cooking?
But he did. I think he did that where it was like, and the suspense building in that movie is fucking awesome. It's still like I just watched
Michael
that
Bay
recently.
can make a movie.
Yeah, so like it's not just that. It's just the fact that that's it's I don't know.
Well,
it gets
you know
to a
what I
point where
think-
it's like I understand that some people like that, and even I do. Like I was saying, like something like a kaiju movie, Godzilla, something like that. I love it. I love Godzilla. I love Pacific Rim, but it's over here. It's over here now.
Or a Daiju movie like Schindler's List.
Exactly.
Sorry, go on. You know what's funny? And this makes me think, and it's why I think a lot of people look back at Avatar or like Transformers and roll their eyes. Because maybe more so Avatar. But like whenever a new type of technology gets adopted or whatever the fuck, or just foster care, whatever it might be.
Adopted.
Whatever it's that people don't know exactly what to do with it, and sometimes they go a little ham, and it can come off as just like a lot. And I think that I feel like is what happened with like Transformers. Is just Michael Bay being like more, and you're like, dude, you don't need all of this.
And it's the same thing. Like I feel this. They did the same. They're like producing franchises now. They're not thinking about the story. They're thinking about the 4 stories they can tell over 7 movies. Do you know what I mean? Like they're just thinking about the every other aspect. Oh, then we can probably have a series over here. Like nobody's just thinking about like letting an idea grow to that.
You know what
I feel like Harry Potter felt like the last one that like was like naturally kind of grew to that. Like she wasn't necessarily didn't intend on there being a theme park and shit like that, I'm sure, when she was writing the book.
Yeah.
But like she wanted to write a successful, fun story.
Well, Transformers is the epitome of the problem you're stating.
Yeah.
Because they made the toys and then they were like, make a show out of this.
Yeah.
There's a couple, actually there's a really good show. I don't know if it's still on Netflix, but it was called like the Toys That Made Us. Mm-hmm. They have a couple different versions. The movie that's made us, the Toys That Made Us. The Toys That Made Us one is very interesting because, they talk about, they made a shit ton of toys and then made the TV show for Transformers. Ninja Turtles was actually the opposite. Ninja Turtles was like dark.
The comic book that turned into a kid's. They made it a kid's thing.
The comic book was very serious, dark, and brooding.
Come here, Chloe.
And then the comic book was very serious, dark, and brooding, and then they sold it to a bigger company, and the bigger company was like, what if this was for kids? And they were like, oh.
What about a rhino?
I guess so.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
might have had the rhino in it.
They did.
They definitely, the company they sold it to completely shifted the form. If you go look up the original Ninja Turtles comic book, it's gritty as shit.
Nice. Love gritty.
Shout out Flyers.
So What movie do you want to talk about next? We mentioned a couple bangers.
Well, I picked this last one.
I would be happy to. I would love to do District 9. It's been a while since I watched that.
Yeah, that one. That was one I.
It's honestly one of my top 5 movies I think of all time. I love it.
Interesting. It's not in there for me, but when it came out, I probably would have said that because I remember there was something about it that I was just like, this shit fucking rips.
And remember what I was saying? Like they didn't overstep. There's one scene that I feel like they overstep, and it's like half a second, but I cannot. Like it's the same thing with when they did the Dawn of the Dead remake. I was like, oh my god, they were doing so good until that one scene where all the zombies are chasing them up the stairs. And they get to the top of the they're coming through the sewer system.
Which Dawn of the Dead is that?
That's the one with.
Is that the one at the mall?
Yeah, Dawn of the Dead is the when they did the 2000s remake.
Yeah,
there's a scene where
is that the one that started off with Johnny Cash?
Yes. When a man come around, and Ving Rhames and all that other shit. So they're
Zombie baby
running back up the staircase to go back into the mall from trying to go over to the gun store to save Andy or whatever. And they and they're running up the stairs and running upstairs. They get to the door and they're like, get in here. And they stop and they turn around to go shut the door. And all the zombies get to that just second to last flight and they start creeping up. They go, like, we got you where we want. That's not how a zombie would act. They would just blindly continue to chase you. They would not stop and go, now we've got you right where we want you.
That's like, did you ever see?
And then one pops out from the top. How the fuck did he get up here? It's like it's a perfect movie until that.
Imagine some zombies try harder than others.
There's another.
Did you ever see Land
the overachiever up here?
Did you ever see Land of the Dead?
Yeah,
that one was. That one was like, what if they thought about stuff?
Yeah, what if? That was the one where isn't that John Leguizamo's in that?
Yeah,
that was one where I really, even as a young dumbass, who was just like, fucking George A. Romero is a genius, which I still believe he's a genius. But like he can do no wrong. I swear to God, dude, I tried my hardest to be like, it was pretty good. Like, I mean, like, cause like if you think about it, like maybe zombies would start to evolve. And I'm just like,
when your identity was way more locked in on media.
It was
because you're
George
like, if this
A. Romero.
movie's bad, then I'm bad.
Yeah. And like,
I've been there, bro.
I went to see it in theaters and I was just like, I love John Leguizamo. I think Dennis wasn't like, not Dennis Hopper. Somebody was in that I was like, they got a pretty big star.
Yeah, I know it's someone like Dennis Hopper. Yeah.
But like somebody like that. And I was just like, and like after the movie, I was like, it's pretty good, right, guys? Like sure. The one guy said brains or whatever. He's like, he points to the city and they just start. And it's just.
Have you ever been like?
That was a bunch of very embarrassing scenes. But District 9 has one of those scenes where it's like, it's just like, all right, that looks terrible. You didn't even need this. You could have cut this, and it would be.
Have you ever been genuinely scared by an old horror movie?
Exorcist. Exorcist still kind of gets me a little bit sometimes.
Oh, yeah, I didn't grow
still.
Did you watch it as a kid?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it as a kid, so it doesn't do it for me.
It fucked me up as a kid. It was like one of those things where I was like, I was like, I can't watch this, or I'll get possessed.
You know which one did that to me? Fucking Signs.
Yeah.
Signs, dude. And I thought I was just like the only pussy who got scared by it.
No, that was
apparently
generational.
Apparently, when that alien walked by, it ruined thousands of kids' childhoods.
Perfect amount of CGI. Like even now, it still kind of looks cartoonish.
Oh no.
Some of it,
no. It looks terrible.
Terrible,
now.
yeah.
But at the time,
you're like,
that's why you don't. That's why you don't knock him for it, because at the time that shit looked dope.
And it was genuinely terrifying.
Oh, the one thing. So like old school horror movies, while I like them, they've rarely ever genuinely like startle me or make me feel uncomfortable. Well, uncomfortable maybe, but they never scare me. The only one that did was the original Dawn of the Dead, where they're in the mall.
Yeah.
And dude, there's a scene where they're locked up in their area, and the one guy, they weren't sure if he got infected, and he lays down, and then he lays back up.
He was the pilot, yeah.
He lays back up, and he's clearly infected.
Brother, that's
and
so
I remember
terrifying.
the way he sat up. I was like younger. But not like young, maybe like late high school.
And that was when they were like
and
in the back. They made that whole wall, and like he was like stuck back there. They were like contained in their own little area.
They were in that little area.
Yeah.
He was, because
it wasn't just like, ooh, this is a scary thing to look at. It was also the implications that now you're like, oh, everyone's gonna die.
Yeah.
So like, but yeah, I just remember the scene where he sits up straight, and it got a quick little like out of me, because it was like I didn't think that was gonna happen.
That movie changed my life when I saw it. I think I was like 13 or 14, like early. I was young, maybe not 13, 14, maybe even younger than that. But I was pretty young, and that came on out of I had no context for it either. I wasn't like familiar with, like, I know zombies, but I never had really watched like a zombie movie. Like, nobody in my family was super into them, but that was one that was like,
I actually gotta give. We should wrap up, but I could do this all day. I actually gotta give props to the original Evil Dead. I watched that one in high school in my basement alone. Yeah. That creeped me out.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre is one that'll still get a jump scare every once in a while, but I still kind of, it's not like, it's just like, I think it would just be gross to be on set there too. It's not about being in that world. It's more of like, ugh. Yeah. It's just like, in general, just like, that looks gross. But like, world-wise, like that, like Exorcist was one of those ones where I was like, this is Blair Witch too. Blair Witch still fucks me up a little bit.
Yeah, no,
but I do put myself there a little too.
No, supernatural stuff bugs me. That's why I don't get into the ghost shit all the time. Yeah, because like supernatural shit genuinely bugs me, and that's why. Yeah, Insidious bugged me when I was younger, because it's the idea that the like entity will just follow you everywhere.
Yeah, It Follows was pretty scary.
Yeah,
but that's a newer one. But hey, we're talking about District 9 next week. You guys are gonna love it. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. If you don't love it, keep it to yourself.
I pray to God I hate it, and we have immense conflict.
You're just silent the whole next week. You're just like,
District 9, just go off that District 0.
No.
0 out of 10.
You wouldn't give it.
I have to piss.